Welcome to the Incredible Grains channel, where we feature the miracle of plant-based medicines and foods. The opinions shared do not always reflect those of this channel, but are for the purpose of research and discussion.
One of the trials that you won't see a publication on, that I'm very sad did not get to completion and did not really accrue enough patients, and I hope we can find a trial, find collaborators that do a trial on this, is bladder cancer prevention. And again, I go back to my old friend Yushin Zhang at Roswell Park Cancer Institute in Buffalo. He made the observation many years ago that, gee, when you think about how sulforaphane courses through the body, it winds up being excreted in the urine as either sulforaphane, free and clear, or the majority of it comes out as its conjugates with glutathione, one of the main antioxidant peptides in the body, glutathione or acetylcysteine, sulforaphane, a variety of sort of antioxidant glutathione-derived conjugates. And all of them have some activity in upregulating NRF2 also. So what happens? Go in here, you eat sulforaphane, or you ingest it, or you can even put it on your skin. We've done a number of trials showing protection against ultraviolet radiation. It gets metabolized, it gets excreted. How does it get excreted? In the urine. What happens to urine? It hangs around in a bladder. So what you wind up having is a high concentration, relatively high concentration of both sulforaphane and its active metabolites in the bladder, bathing that bladder epithelium, and it's only obviously periodically released. So it's a perfect, we think it would be the perfect place to demonstrate protection against cancer or cancer prevention. And so we actually had permission for and started and only accrued, I think, only enrolled, I think, 1 or 2 subjects, a trial in which we were to look at just that. And these were people where we were looking at reappearance of bladder cancer. So they had had a tumor removed and had cystectomy, and we were looking at the health of the bladder and levels of NRF2 in bladder tissue that was acquired by biopsy. So that was the design of the study. As I say, it didn't happen. We're actually trying to get one off the ground with dogs now. Dogs are a little different because they sort of pee when they want to, so there's probably not the same constant reservoir of sulforaphane and its metabolites in the bladder, but certainly to a degree there will be. It's also harder to collect the 24-hour urine on a dog and to do some of the interventions, but so we are trying to get a canine bladder cancer prevention trial off the ground. And as I say, we'd love to see it done in humans, yeah, because if there was a gimme, that's a gimme. I mean, it's got to work there if it's going to work anywhere.
The epidemiology is so strong, showing, I mean, I can just study after study after study showing cruciferous intake,
Yep.
raw broccoli, just it's showing preventing bladder recurrence as well.
Yep.
People that are eating these foods. So it's not a clinical trial, but it's just associative data. So,
yeah.
And there's been animal studies with bladder cancer where they give them some carcinogen and sulforaphane in it. So I agree with you. I mean, it would be really nice to see an actual clinical trial done in humans, and it does make perfect sense. Prostate cancer is another one that seems to also sort of go hand in hand. I mean, the prostate and the prostate inflammation, seems to be lowered, and this, one study showing that men with prostate cancer that were given pretty relatively high doses of sulforaphane, it slowed their doubling rate of the PSA by 86%. So, I mean, that's pretty significant.
Yeah. So there are 2 prostate cancer studies. I'm aware, well, there are probably more, but Joshi Alumkal at OHSU did one, and Bernard Cipolla in France, using actually the supplement. So Cipola's study used, where he showed a dramatic reduction in the trajectory of PSA numbers, used what's it called?
Prostafane?
Prostafane, thank you.
Prostafane,
Yeah, the French supplement.
Yeah.
And a Lumcull study used our homemade broccoli sprout extract. You mentioned the animal studies. We actually were partnered on 3 or 4 animal studies with Yushin Zhang and Rex Mundy in New Zealand, and it was extremely impressive to see the difference in bladder cancer,
Right. Tumor size.
number,
Yeah.
size.
I mean,
and
it
number.
was. I saw the publication. Extremely robust.
Yeah,
So-
nice gross color pictures too.
Yeah, I'm convinced.
Yeah.
You know, and the other thing is like smokers. Smokers get bladder cancer.
Yes, yes.
And that, you know, I think first of all, people that smoke should quit smoking first and foremost. But if they don't quit smoking, I mean, I think they should be consuming broccoli sprouts like nobody's business, you know, because I mean they're accumulating so much benzene and all sorts of carcinogens. So
Moringa happens to be a tropical tree that grows everywhere. It's a weed, and it's also full of an isothiocyanate that is, in many cases, more active than sulfur. It may be better than sulforaphane in many situations. Better or worse, but you know, it's sort of on the same level of efficacy
Wow.
as sulforaphane.